7 crazy molecular tricks that power every living cell. You're made of trillions of cells, but what if I told you each one is a microscopic city, running on tricks and machines that seem to defy belief? Intro. Today we're going microscopic to uncover the 7 most insane tricks your cells are using right now to keep you alive. The world inside a single cell is more bizarre and brilliant than any sci-fi movie. It's a place with tiny power plants, pumps that seem to ignore the laws of physics, and molecular architects building life from scratch. You will never look at yourself the same way again. Let's get into it, starting with number 1. Section 1, the infinite power grid. Every single thing you do, blinking, thinking, breathing, takes energy. But where does it come from? It all comes down to a molecule called ATP, the universal energy currency for all life, and your cells are masters at making it, using a mind-blowing process called oxidative phosphorylation. Picture this. Inside your cells are microscopic power plants called mitochondria. They don't just burn fuel, they run a subatomic assembly line. As food breaks down, it releases high-energy electrons. These electrons get passed down a chain of proteins like a current flowing through a wire. As they move, these proteins pump protons, tiny charged particles, across a membrane, building up this insane electrical and chemical pressure. Think of it like water piling up behind a huge dam. And then comes the masterpiece. A molecular turbine called ATP synthase opens the floodgates. Protons rush back through it with such force that the turbine spins at incredible speeds. This spinning physically smashes a phosphate group onto another molecule, creating the high-energy ATP you need to live. We're not talking about a slow trickle here. A single cell can burn through billions of ATP molecules every single minute. It's the on-demand power grid for the city of you. And get this, recent studies have confirmed that ATP synthase can actually run in reverse, a discovery that's changing how we think about cellular energy. Section 2. The pumps that defy physics. Okay, so if a cell is a city, it needs borders. It has to control what comes in and what goes out. The problem? Nature hates imbalance. It wants everything to be spread out evenly. So how does a cell keep all the potassium it needs inside while kicking all the sodium out? It uses a trick that seems to fly in the face of diffusion. It uses molecular machines called ion pumps. The most famous one is the sodium-potassium pump. For every molecule of ATP it uses, this little machine grabs 3 sodium ions from inside the cell and forcibly throws them out. Then, it grabs 2 potassium ions from the outside and pulls them in, fighting against the natural flow every step of the way. It's like a microscopic bouncer, perfectly maintaining the VIP section inside your cells. This job is so important that it can use up to 1/3 of all the energy your body burns while at rest. That imbalance it creates is stored energy, a battery that powers your nerves, tightens your muscles, and helps your cells absorb nutrients. Some of these pumps are even more wild, with spinning parts that rotate against each other to drive ions across the membrane one by one. These are the tireless gatekeepers that make life's electrical signals possible. Section 3. The Secret Handshake Society. How does a cell do anything? How does it know when it's time to grow, move, or divide? The answer is a huge, silent, and impossibly complex communication network that runs on a simple trick: the secret handshake. Welcome to the world of protein-protein interactions. Proteins are the workhorses in your cells, but they almost never work alone. They team up, forming temporary alliances to get things done. A signal from outside the cell, like a hormone, might dock with a receptor protein on the surface. This causes the receptor to change its shape just enough to perform a secret handshake with a protein on the inside. That protein then changes its shape and shakes hands with another one, setting off a chain reaction that carries the message all the way to the nucleus to change the cell's entire game plan. These handshakes are incredibly specific, governed by the basic forces of physics. This is how your immune system sounds the alarm, how your metabolism stays in check, and how your cells know not to divide out of control. It's a massive dynamic social network where billions of tiny machines are constantly talking, collaborating, and making the decisions that keep you alive. Section 4. The Tiniest Vampires. Now, let's get weird. In the microscopic world, it's eat or be eaten, and some single-celled organisms have evolved a terrifyingly effective way to hunt. Meet Dileptus, a protist that's basically a microscopic vampire. This cell doesn't just bump into its prey and absorb it. No, it stalks its victim and uses a long, needle-like appendage to literally stab it. How? It's a masterclass in molecular engineering. Using ATP for power, the cell assembles this piercing structure. Then, ion pumps create intense localized pressure changes right at the tip. Combined with a careful arrangement of proteins, this allows it to inject a toxic cocktail and then suck the life, the cytoplasm, right out of its prey. This isn't just random chance, it is targeted weaponized hunting on a cellular level. It's an amazing, if horrifying example of how a few basic tricks, ATP for power, pumps for pressure, and proteins for structure, can create behavior straight out of a horror movie. Section 5. The living internet cables. So, what happens when two of your cells need to communicate, but they're too far apart for simple chemical signals? They build a bridge, a living, organic bridge. This is our fifth crazy trick, tunneling nanotubes. First discovered in 2004, these are incredibly thin channels that can stretch between cells, sometimes over huge distances. They're living wires, an intercellular internet that connects the inside of one cell directly to another. But what's truly insane is what they send through them. We're not just talking about small signals. Cells use these tubes to transport entire bundles of proteins, genetic material, and even whole organelles, like mitochondria. This is resource sharing on a completely different level. A healthy cell can literally send a power plant, a mitochondrion, over to a struggling neighbor, rescuing it from death. The cell's internal skeleton drives the formation of these tubes, pushing them forward to make a connection. It's the cell's physical internet, a way to share hardware, not just data, to make sure the entire community survives. Section 6. The organelle thieves. Some organisms have taken sharing to a whole new level. They just steal. Meet the sacoglossan sea slugs, a group of animals that performs a trick so bizarre it has its own name, kleptoplasty. These slugs munch on algae, but instead of digesting everything, they do something incredible. They carefully extract the chloroplasts, the little solar power factories inside the algae cells, and pull them into their own tissues. And here's the wild part. The stolen chloroplasts keep working, performing photosynthesis inside the animal. The slug effectively becomes a solar-powered animal, getting energy directly from the sun. This trick is a molecular heist of epic proportions. The slug has to stop its own immune system from destroying the stolen parts, and somehow keep them running for weeks or months, all without the original algal nucleus that contains the necessary genetic blueprints. It points to a ridiculously complex dance of molecules and signals between the animal and the stolen machinery, a biological mystery that scientists are still trying to figure out. Section 7. The self-destruct button. For a complex organism like you to survive, some cells have to die for the greater good. There are elegant controlled ways to do this, and then there's the brutal way, osmotic lysis, which is just a fancy term for a cell literally exploding. This is what happens when a cell's most basic systems fail. Remember those ion pumps working 24/7 to keep sodium out? If the cell runs out of ATP, those pumps stop. Suddenly nothing is stopping sodium and other ions from flooding in. As the ion concentration inside skyrockets, water rushes in through osmosis to try and balance things out. The cell starts to swell, its membrane stretching to the breaking point. Eventually, the pressure is too much, the cell bursts and spills its guts everywhere. It's not a quiet death, it's a catastrophic failure of the cell's most fundamental tricks. A dramatic reminder that life exists on a knife's edge, constantly fighting back against the forces of chaos. These molecular machines, these crazy tricks, are all happening inside your trillions of cells, right now. From the energy powering your thoughts to the pump that makes your heart beat, you are the result of this beautiful microscopic chaos. The complexity is just staggering, and we're only scratching the surface. If your mind is as blown as mine, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next dive into the wonders of science. And let me know in the comments, which of these cellular tricks did you find the most insane? Conclusion. The next time you look in the mirror, remember what you're really seeing. You're not one thing, you're a universe. A team of trillions of microscopic cities, all running on impossible machinery, performing unbelievable tricks, and working together in perfect harmony to create you. Thanks for watching.